the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here at the 2.66 mile Talladega Super Speedway. Thank you very much for joining me here tonight. My name is KR Solfus, and in the booth with me is driver slash commentator, both roles being filled here tonight, Travis Elliott. How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing great tonight, KR. How are you tonight?
Well, I'm doing great. Normally, we have a meeting about what not to do as a broadcaster, and apparently I need to have that meeting with you again.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I wanted to get the full experience of like Larry McReynolds, with the cutaway car just on track,
There you go. So those of you who don't know, Travis is going to show up in our overlay here tonight, but he's not going to be on the track. He's still going to be in the booth with me. So guys, don't worry too much about that, because I know I bore you all to tears, but Travis is the one saving grace here.
Oh, you're far too kind.
Yes, I am too kind. All right, drivers are making their way out on the speedway for qualifying here at Talladega. Josh Milam making his way out onto the track. Dan Harrington, Jimmy Reynolds, JD Crow, the rest of the field joining them. They will have 5 minutes to get in 2 laps. Everyone rushing to get out there. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our points breakdown coming into tonight's race. Candy Shack Motorsports sitting 1 and 2, Paul Servant and Daniel Holloway representing that team, and then it's Alliance Motorsports driver Hunter Reynolds in 3rd, MAGA Motorsports Pondo Co in 4th, and rounding out your top 5 in the points is Alliance Motorsports driver Sean Stevens. So a very close battle at the top 2 positions, and then a close battle for 3rd place. Our top 5 really in a topsy-turvy. You could even throw in 6th and 7th place. But Travis, points don't mean a whole lot week in and week out. You just gotta have a good steady accumulation over your regular season.
Yeah, especially being a much shorter season than I'm used to, and 10 races to get really locked in points wise, because getting 2 wins, it's hard to come by in really competitive fields like they got here at the Sunday Select Series. So you really want to make sure you're running consistent weeks, week in, week out at all 3 tracks, and it really will become a relief off your back if you're just finishing consistently.
Speaking of finishing consistently, laps are starting to roll in. JR Johnson moving up in the 2nd spot. Who you watching on the track?
I'm watching a beautiful scenic shot scroll by, because I can't watch any other drivers.
That's true. Get wrecked.
Yeah, I was about to go watch. I was about to go watch old Rick Greenaway, run some laps possibly, but clicked on his name and just looking at the beautiful sights of the Talladega Super Speedway.
Dan Harrington in the 82 out on track right now. He is sitting in a 2nd spot, but Hunter Reynolds taking away that position as the 26 machine jumps up in the 2nd spot. Josh Milam still on pole. Russell Hancock in the 343 making his way through the tri-oval and going to flash by the start finish line. Hancock gonna jump up into 6th place. You mentioned Rick Greenaway, the driver of the 15 machine, out of Chicopee, Massachusetts, the 15. Right now, finding himself in his warm-up lap as he makes his way through the tri-oval on the high side. He drops down. This is going to be his first completed lap, and he's going to try and put in a very solid fast lap. Paul Servant in the 3, jumping up to the top of the leaderboard. He finds himself up there with J.D. Crow. Mark Mann now in 3rd. Josh Milam falling to 4th. Very close times on the speed charts. Travis, we see this week in and week out. It all comes down to a .001 a lot of the time.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, between P1 and P2, 2 1,000ths of a second. Between P3 and P4, 1 1,000th of a second, and even Dana is 1 1,000th. So, I mean, guys are, you know, figuring things out more and more each time, and there's a lot of guys in this league that almost exclusively run super speedways. I know quite a few of them in multiple super speedway leagues, and you can really see the time that they put into it and getting that qualifying down to what is essentially a science and an art, really, KR. And you know, we always see guys like Paul Servant always close to the front, and here he is on pole right now, and nobody knocked him off quite yet.
All right, with that being said, guys, we are going to step away for the national anthem. We'll be back to bring you tonight's starting lineup. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the drivers have started to roll out from the grid, that means it is time to go through tonight's starting lineup. Row number 1 going to be the 3 of Paul Servant. On his outside, the 17 of J.D. Crow. Row number 2, the 04 of Mark Mann in the Batmobile. And on his outside, the custom painted number 7 of Josh Milam. Row number 3 going to be the 88 of Dana Osborne and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Row 4, Chris Akers in the 4 machine, and Dan Harrington in the 82. Row number 5 going to be the 44 of Anthony English. On his outside, the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds.
Row number 6, the 27 of Sean Stevens, alongside the 37 of J.R. Johnson. Row number 7, 62 of Les Levy, and the 91 of Sean Wilder. Row number 8, the 9 of Pondo Cove, and the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Row number 9, the 40 of Jason Grams, and the 15 of Rick Greenaway. Row number 10, the 343 of Russ Hancock, and the 63 of Michael Hinton. And then in your final row, the 61 of DJ Mitzel and the 31 of Todd Poston. Sorry, it's Poston. I was corrected, finally.
All right, here we go. Lineup done and over with. The 3 of Paul Servant waiting for the Ford Mustang to get out of the way. Travis, long wait here at Talladega. How many butterflies can you eat before this green flag drops?
Oh, quite a few. Mainly it's trying to keep that consistent, that consistent pace speed. Because if you speed up a little bit too quickly or check up too much, because you're just waiting and the green finally comes out and you're just going on the guy in front of you. We're green, KR.
That we are. The 3 stabs the throttle and away we go. Everyone trying to get up the gearbox as cleanly and efficiently as possible. Nobody missing a gear. All 21 cars head off into turn number 1. Servant down on the bottom. The 04 Mark Mann right there. This is probably one of the most even starts we've seen in a long time. And big wiggle coming off at turn number 2.
Yeah, big old checkup on that outside. Made Hunter check up, and that checked up the 82 of Daniel Harrington. But it looks like they got everything sorted out. Looks like that inside line's got a lot of speed right now early on. Talking about being pretty even, but it's a long night. It looks like it's a pretty green track also. I don't know if you can tell that, KR, or if my graphics are just not very good right now, but it looks like a very, very fresh track, as I believe the leader of the first lap is 17 of JD Crow. So that outside line building some momentum, being pushed by the 7 of Josh Milam. And he's a fairly capable pusher in my book, but that guy on the bottom lane in that Batman car is also a pretty capable pusher, KR.
That he is. Mark Mann in the 04, pushing on the 3 of Paul Servant. Servant from Candy Shack Motorsports, and Candy Shack Motorsports has a few new additions to the team here tonight. One of those being the 91 of Sean Wilder. So we'll keep an eye on him here tonight. But right now, everyone running in a double file line, staying tightly packed together. We are going to see this one run 75 laps. And about 14 to 15 laps, I believe, is our fuel run.
If they're running half a tank, I think it's about maybe 16.
16 laps?
Yeah, I think if my memory serves correct. But man, that outside line's getting a big old head of steam. We got the 17 clear of the 3. And KR, coming up Wednesday, we're gonna have a new build for the draft package. So this might be a completely different style of race next week when we hit Daytona.
Very possible. Pondo Cove setting the fastest lap of the race last time around. With the field gonna flash by once again, and we might see a new fast lap, or maybe quite possibly we do see a new fast lap, and that is the 82 of Dan Harrington, a 47.95 to the 82, fastest lap so far in this race. Tonight's race is presented by the Ricky Bobby Foundation, and if you don't know what that is, we need to talk to Les Levy in the 62 about it. He's a little bit busy right now. However, we did get some pre-race notes from Les, and his 3 remarks on this one is: don't wreck, hit your pit stops, and don't get ran over by Mark Mann.
I mean, pretty good, but I think right now the 17 trying not to get ran over by Josh Milam. He went to the top, taking that momentum on the outside, and made that outside line check up a little bit. And that right now you have the 21 of Dan Holloway going 3 wide of few rows back, but it looks like he's going to check back up and fall into line. But interesting to see, you know, on lap 4, lap 5, seeing the leader play both lanes, and it's working out for him.
Ooh, as you say that, the 17 was not clear of the 3. He spins down to the infield. So far, he has not hit anything, and now he's going to tag that inside wall, but we stay green. JD Crow in that 17 going to spin it around. A lone spin down off the racing surface, not going to trigger a caution, but it has triggered the field to kind of scatter. We got some drivers now up in the 3rd lane, and that being the 91 of Sean Wilder and the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
Yeah, it's like they almost smelled blood in the water and just started scattering for position in any way they could with that checkup on that inside line. Josh Milam was able to clear the bottom, allowing him to get in front of Mark Mann, his teammate. But yeah, that's the you play with fire, and sometimes you get burned. That's a perfect example of trying to play both lanes and getting hit. But it looks like Paul Servan also fell back to the end of this pack, but it doesn't look like he got too much damage from that, because it looks like he just rolled across his nose there. But yeah. Commentators curse, KR.
Yeah, there you go. So JD Crow now in danger of going a lap down. He has continued on, but he does not have the draft pack, so he is quite a bit slower, and that field gaining on him very quickly. In fact, he is 32 seconds down and quickly losing more ground. But back to the front, our conversation goes. Josh Milam in the 7, your race leader. Hunter Reynolds on the outside, trying to take over the top spot. Dan Harrington in the 82, pushing hard on the 26. Everyone back to single file here. Across the line they are gonna go. All right, so with that being said, JD Crow now in desperate need of a caution. He is fallen further and further behind. But Josh Milam and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds leading their respective lanes. Paul Servant, our pole sitter, has fallen to mid-pack. That Oreo number 3 machine right now finds himself tucked in behind the 62 of Les Levy.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what happened to Holloway and the 91 there. Was it Sean Wilder? I'm wondering if they wanted to see if they could gain positions off of that whole fiasco with JD Crow, or if they were trying to see if that top works. And it didn't look like they were gaining a whole lot of time or a whole lot of momentum up on top. And they have 3 cars up there, so that kind of worries me early on. Hopefully, as the day develops, that top line by the wall really comes into its own. But been watching Hunter Reynolds get pretty solid shoves by the 82, almost getting him just almost, at Josh's bumper. They can't quite make the pass there. Looks like he's going to get a pretty good run here, but I think he's just going to be side by side going through the trial. Well, yeah. So that inside line's doing a great job of, not allowing the outside to really form up, but the outside's really put together very well. The inside line just has the numbers advantage on the bottom, though.
Well, right now that outside lane has dwindled very quickly here within the last 2 laps.
Yeah.
Good indicator
Ooh.
that people are trying to fight for position to get down on the inside line and be ready for green up flag pit stops.
Daniel Harrington, jeez. Pushed him and Hunter clear of Josh right there. I don't know if that was teammates trying to get him down, but either way, that was just a shove by the 82 there, showing his strength as a pusher. That I don't really think we see Daniel Harrington really getting up to the front and mixing up. Usually is kind of a lay back and avoid any mishaps. So it's kind of nice to see him up here showing his bump drafting skills. As we have the father and son leading the race here, KR, and it looks like Jimmy's gonna get it past old Hunter right here, as the pack passes JD Crow there, putting him one lap down, and we have Jimmy Reynolds in front of Hunter Reynolds, KR.
That we do a big change for the 28. He takes over the top spot. J.R. Johnson in the 37, now leading the outside lane, and Reynolds down on the inside.
Yeah, that's going to get Jimmy a lap lead also. So if he gets a bonus point for leading a lap, it's going to be nice for a little point there. But now we have that outside line with J.R. Johnson and the 44 of Anthony English, who's back, and he was fighting for that top spot and missed a few races, and hopefully he can get it turned around with a good finish here tonight. As a checkup on the outside a little bit with the 9 of Pondo Co. Looks like everybody's trying to scramble to get to that bottom to get ready for these green flag pit stops, it seems. Well, looks like most of the Candy Shack guys are up top. You have Chris Akers and Dana Osborne on bottom, but Daniel Holloway and Paul Servant and the Sean Wilder being up top still. So it looks like Paul Servant's going to go to the wall. Maybe he wants to try something with the 21 and the 91 while they're waiting before the pits happen or something. KR, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, we're working lap 13 of 75. We're getting close to our first round of green flag pit stops. One car, one lap down. That is the 17 of JD Crow. He would love to see a caution, but man, these drivers so far have the look and feel of this being a very long green flag run.
Yeah, Talladega is one of the little wiggle there from the 44. Getting the 37 clear of Jimmy Reynolds. He's going to come back up, or no, he's going to stay on the bottom. Paul Servant looking to the high side, expecting the checkup on the outside, but nothing happened. But yeah, Talladega's weird. Coming off of like iRacing Super Speedway, it's almost like Talladega is way more mellow, and Talladega is one of the least mellow tracks. It's so wide, you can go 4 wide easily, as the 9 of Pondo Co is going to push the 44 and himself clear of the bottom. Pondo Co stays up top in front of the 21. Going to give the race lead to the 44 of Anthony English. And that inside line is pretty stacked up, and I'm guessing we're going to see some of these drivers hit the pit road. In my expert opinion, KR.
Yeah, we're getting close to those green flag pit stops. The 44 of Anthony English out in front. And let me just say hello to Tyler Miller,
Whoa.
Dustin Barber, and Mara Clark.
Little contact, putting Jimmy Reynolds on the apron. Jimmy's slipping and sliding everywhere he saves it. Wow. There was a little bump between Jimmy and the 21. Jimmy doing a good job keeping it from spinning. That the rest of the field, good job, heads up for them not collecting them. But Jimmy Reynolds now off of the pace, a few seconds back. KR.
Yeah, he's lost all of his momentum as we have gone back and watched him get down on the apron, and the 28 has lost the draft along with Michael Hinton and JD Crow being down as well. So now the field has really gotten single file here very quickly. I expect we'll see a round of green flag pit stops coming up here in this lap or the next one. And the 44 out in front. J.R. Johnson sitting in second. Our biggest mover of the race so far, well, that's Pondo Co, your third place driver, as he has gained 12 positions from where he started this race here tonight.
Yeah, looks like no takers this time by. Looks like everybody's being pretty relaxed about it, which is surprising to me. I think people are going to be hitting pit road this time by. I think I just heard the call by everybody. We're about to find out here in about half a lap, KR. Oh yeah, they're all coming this lap. So looks like they can go about 17 laps, maybe 18 if they really stretch it. This is going to be a fun pit entry.
That's going to be very busy on the pit road. Very high speed entry. The 17 of JD Crow looking like he is about ready to go another lap down. He moves up to the high side to get out of the way, and here comes Pondo Co and several other drivers.
Oh, they got on pit. What was that? Paul Sermont and them got on pit road very nicely. It's got some of the guys got through that pretty cleanly. No incidents, so that's good to see. Let's see if the rest of the field can follow suit.
So the 343, now your race leader, Hancock, out in front with his 3-wide motorsports teammate DJ Mitzel on his back bumper. Third place going to Anthony English in the 44. I'll tell you what, if we get a caution, we are going to talk to the driver in that 44. He is our special in-race reporter tonight, Travis Elliott. Not so much our special in-race reporter. He's just our special broadcaster. So
whoa,
Hancock is in trouble.
Contact between 82 and the 40. Ah, man. I hate to see it for Daniel Harrington, man. This has the worst luck, and I'd love to see that turn around here soon. Oh, more contact between Dana and Chris. Get into pit road. Not been the smoothest pit stop for this group right here, KR.
Let's take a look at the contact with the 82. Tough break there for the 82. The 40 came out of left field for him. Actually, it'd be more like the right-hand side. Slight little contact, but back live we go. The 62 of Les Levy out in front of the field for the moment. That is changing quickly as Daniel Holloway flashes by on the straightaway. Les Levy gonna blend up onto the track as he falls to further back, and in fact the 62 gonna stay down on the bottom.
That's interesting. I just noticed that kind of like half of Candy Shack pitted for first and half the other half pitted afterwards. So they're going out with a split strategy. But Dan and Paul just leading this field with a pretty good head of steam. But they're going to have some friends here soon to the 9 and the 37, making their way up there fast, almost 5 miles an hour faster than the 3. And the 9's going to shoot the gap on bottom, take away that inside line, separating the 21 and the 3. And it looks like the 9 wants to keep going for it. They had all the momentum, and they're going to keep going. And with Dan, it looks like the 37's going to hook up with the 21, leaving the 9 out to dry. And that's only going to allow Josh Milam and Hunter and Anthony and Mark Mann to catch up to them. And you can see Josh and Hunter just closing in at a rapid pace, coming at them almost 6 miles an hour faster than Pondo Co was going. So easily able to catch up. But KR, we're finally through the green flag cycle, and 21 of Daniel Holloway is cycled out to be your leader, and we are single file currently.
Josh Milam in the 7 just set the fastest lap of this race, turning a 47.70, and right now he finds himself in 5th place. We do have a couple cars off the lead lap now. Green flag pit stops have a way of spreading the field out and catching a few drivers out. Jason Graves finds himself 1 lap down. Les Levy finds himself 1 lap down. He came down pit road once again and made a fuel stop. And then JD Crow in the 17 machine also off of the lead lap. Russell Hancock is now going to go down a lap. He moves up to the high side.
Yeah, it almost got a little dicey there. The 9 wanted to really split that gap, thread that needle. Looked like he wanted to get in front of Josh Milam, but Josh is going to close that gap. So 9 of Pondo Co just all out alone by himself, but he's using that little bit of side force that you can get from the cars in front of you. And you can see he's pulling right up to 30. The 37 is going to jump up, and the 9 has a full head of steam coming up to that 37's bumper. And when Paul gets to Dan's bumper, he's gonna have to check up a little bit because he doesn't want to hit him too hard. And the 37 and the 9 looking pretty solid. I think they're in a channel together. No, they are not. I thought they were, but no, they're just great communication on track. Apparently, they're doing a great job. Timing runs the right way. Almost didn't get it done that time. The inside line has too much the numbers game. But 61 of DJ Mitchell is going to join them up top, along with the 88 of Dana Osborne, who's a little bit further back. But it's been an interesting race, KR. The outside line's been able to really build up runs, and you can see the 37 getting a big run right here. I don't know if that caused by the inside. Oh, he's pinching him down pretty tight. I don't think he's going to get him this time, but kind of this is what? This isn't the whole field. This is like up to 16th. Nah, this is up to 11th. So, yeah, a whole other pack somewhere, KR.
Yeah, 11th place going to the 27 of Sean Stevens. And in this pack, well, we do have the 62 of Les Levy has fallen back a little bit. But our second pack going to be led by the 91 of Sean Wilder, the 4 of Chris Akers, 15 of Rick Greenaway, then Dan Harrington, who had his issues on pit road. These guys are bringing the 17 of JD Crow along with them, and JD even worse for the wear now as he is 2 laps down.
Yeah, it looks like he's on a completely different pit strategy, probably trying to get onto a somewhat similar to the guys around him, but he's got 11 laps on this tank of fuel, probably coming to 12 this time by. So most of the field has 5 to 8 laps somewhere around there. So interesting to see him trying to do something a little bit different, getting back on the lead lap. But looking at this front, they're 2x2. Nobody's really trying to risk it anything. The 21's getting really almost a whole car length ahead of the 3 there, and it's really allowing that outside line to build up that run. It looks like the 37 is going to be clear of Dan Holloway if he wants to jump down to the bottom. And he's going into turn 1. I don't know what the 3 of Paul Servant. You can see that that's a car length gap between the 21 and the 3. I don't know what the 3 is doing there, KR, but would not advise that. Unless
Paul
he's letting
Servant,
88 in.
Paul Servant being from Canada, pretty cool customer right there. Hard to get him worked up.
Oh, he was letting the 88 in. Okay.
So there you go. So the 3 lets the 88 in. The 88 fills that hole quickly, but it drops back to the top.
Took Paul's gift and just threw it back at him.
Yep.
And it looks like he's gonna go back down there. So I think he likes that home this time.
Michael Hinton in the 63, going a lap down. Jason Graves, Russell Hancock, and Michael all sitting right there in that battle to be the first car 1 lap down now. The 343 and the 40 are running nose to tail.
They're getting these almost like a mini tandem moment every once in a while. Like the 21 and the 37 push clear the pack by about a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths, allowing the 21 to jump up to the top in front of the 9. I don't know if that was a side effect of the whole getting Dana down to the bottom and him kind of being indecisive, or if there's something, they figure something out that they can do to really get that separation. And you can even see up top, well, DJ's closing it a little bit faster now, but they're leaving huge gaps to that bottom line. At least Paul Servant is. And it's confusing me because you really need that 3rd car in line to be really close to make any kind of forward momentum, really, as they're coming up on the 20 of Jimmy Reynolds. who would be put one lap down. He'd be the first car one lap down.
Yeah, but Jason Graves and Russell Hancock tucked in that outside lane. They're going to have a full head of steam at this speed. They'll make quick work of passing Jimmy Reynolds. Reynolds will have to join at the back with the 63 of this group. Then they got to start working their way forward, but a lot of speed in this pack right here. Everyone really laying down a quick pace so far. And our last time on pit road was lap 17 and 18. And we're about 4 to 5 laps away from another round of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, you had the group of was it Hunter and Josh and all of them, and half of Candy Shack as Dana jumps to the top. Dan Holloway, sorry, all over his bumper. I think he's gonna get him and Dana clear of that bottom line easily. And yeah, so we already have a few people trying to stretch this fuel as much as they can, and people trying to get to the bottom lane. You saw the 21 and the 88 obviously cleared the 37. We'll check up on the bottom, causing the 8 to check up, or the 7, sorry. Probably trying to get more people to the bottom. A lot of weird checkups that I don't like, KR. I don't like that.
Well, it's a good thing you're in the booth and not having to deal with it down there on the racetrack.
I'd be losing my mind. The 9's gonna. No. I hope he trusts his spotter so much, because that was very close. This is very close, KR. Oh man, some of these guys are very brave, and I admire them for it.
All right, we are working the lap 31 of 75. No yellow flags have slowed this race down here tonight. We have had one incident. That is the 17 of JD Crow. Tried to make his car wide at the front of the pack, and he went for a little self spin. And then we saw Jimmy Reynolds, not quite spin, but definitely had to catch the race car down on the apron.
He had to wheel it. He had to wheel a little bit.
But JD Crow making another pit stop. He is off sequence and trying to get his car in the best position he can. But man, that 17, his night just keeps going bad, or downhill, or however you want to say it. Things just aren't going his way here tonight. And he had qualified on the front row.
He was your outside pole sitter, if you want to call him that, but got a little too excited blocking those lanes early on, and some people don't really like it when you block 2 lanes, or even if he wasn't trying to block the lanes, he just wanted to go with the momentum wherever it was, try to stay in the lead. But yeah, it's with how these guys are running, pretty calm for Talladega. Haven't seen anybody go to the top, as most of the field's on the inside. I'm assuming getting ready to hit the old pit road. The only people on the outside is the 61 of DJ Mitzel, the 40 of Jason Graves, and the 343 of Russ Hancock, who is who the 40 and the 343 are lap down. So DJ's kind of just out by himself, trying to do everything he can with the help of a few lap cars there. As your leader is the 9 of Pondo Co. coming out of turn 4, as we're about to get ready for green flag pit stops in the coming laps, and they're coming this time.
The 9 and the 37 both hit pit lane. The only 2 cars to hit pit road.
37 missed. I think he missed the pit entry.
Chris Akers down and away after his pit stop. Sean Wilder and Rick Greenaway all hitting pit road this time as well.
Yeah, I believe got
that was a lap
there.
ago.
So I'm wondering if the 37 is going to have a black flag for unsafe pit entry. Yeah, it looks like he does, because he is holding in pit road. So I think that's a 40-second hold for unsafe pit entry, which is a little bit outrageous to me, but got to be smooth, as 3 of the Candy Shack guys hit pit road. 88, the 3, and the 21. Looks like they got into pit road smoothly. So your leaders now DJ Mitzel and KR. We got guys really, you know, the guys who stretched earlier, they're staying out a little bit longer, and they're gonna, you know, keep adding a lap here and there every time, taking less fuel than these the guys that are pitting a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the 61 out in the front. The 7 of Josh Milam sitting in second. Between them is the lap down car of Jason Graves, and that 40 machine, even though he is 1 lap down, he has made it up to 12th place because of how everything is playing out. And Jason, in that 40, gonna have to hit pit road here pretty soon as DJ Mitzel gives up the race lead to come down onto pit road.
Yeah, he's going to be hitting pit road with a 343 for Russ Hancock, 63 of Michael Hinton, and 28 of Jimmy Reynolds. Interestingly enough, the Alliance Motorsports guys, you know, Josh Hunter, Anthony, Mark, and Sean, staying out almost longer. I think they came in
lap
on
18.
their 18th. Yeah, on lap 18. This time they're going almost 19 laps. We'll see if they stay out for one more. I can't imagine they have enough fuel to go one more lap. Now they're going to hit pit road this time by, along with the 40 of Jason Graham's. Going to get a little tight with Hunter. Oh, the 40 locked them up a little bit. Like they got slowed down though. No contact there. So DJ Mitzel's rolling off on track right now, but he's about to get passed by Dana Osborne, which it looks like the Candy Shack guys, Pondo, really got off pit road not together. They're just now getting back together. Really disorganizes the Alliance Motorsports guys are going to be exiting pit road, being let out by Josh Milam. We'll see if they can get together a little bit faster and really build up that speed faster than the Candy Shack guys.
DJ running at full speed, and he is going to use the draft off of this pack here that just made its way onto the racetrack. But DJ was running around almost by himself, never really had anyone close to him. So
Yeah.
Josh
Mark
Milam
Hunter
and the rest of that group that got off pit road at the same time all worked together. Yeah.
And even you know, Anthony and Sean, they're a little bit further back, but they're still right there, and they're on each other's bumper, and they have the 40 right there too. So just better execution on pit road. I mean, obviously the like Dana and Paul, Pondo, and Holloway, you know, they have the numbers game, and they're finally just now getting lined up with one another, and really going to start making that push forward just now. But that's just proof that, you know, green flag pit stops and getting on and off pit road together means a whole lot around here. Clearly with Josh Milam still holding the lead, being pushed by, you know, Hunter and Mark there. So we got 2 more stops left for the race, KR. We'll see if it's even more spread out from here.
All right, the 7 of Josh Milam, the race leader. Hunter Reynolds in a second spot. Mark Mann third. That 40 machine, that is the first car 1 lap down. Jason Graves trying to get back on the lead lap. 26 up to the high side all by himself. No one going to go with him. That's going to allow the 40 to squeeze on by. The 44 of Anthony English maybe going to stay down on the bottom here as well, as finally Hunter Reynolds slides back into place. That is all Alliance Motorsports right there, running in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Hunter swapped himself out because he was getting hot, and we'll be able to tell if that's what they're doing, if Mark Mann jumps up to the top after a few laps, really keeping that pushing car as cool as possible, which I don't know how much they'd be communicating with the 40 there, but they're gonna have to really rely on him to, you know, if Mark gets hot, he jumps up to the top, and 40, you know, will take over and pushing. But it looks like DJ is you know, almost caught up to Sean Stevenson's toe. He's only, what was it, about 6/10, the 6 car lengths back, really making that push forward. And he's gaining very quickly on the 27's bumper there. Not too far behind the 21 and the 88. So we're finally getting back together. 4 to 5 laps after the pit cycle here, KR, and
Ooh,
40 gonna cause a scramble there. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but that's gonna really break up this pack up front, and that's gonna allow that second pack to really try to reel them in. But they're even kind of broke up right now, so might have been a little bit of a break for this lead pack here, KR.
Here comes the 88 of Dana Osborne. He's now going to be able to use the draft off the 40 of Jason Graves to pull himself forward a little bit more. Paul Servant, Daniel Holloway pushing hard on that 88 machine. Pondo Co. in the 9 right there as well. Paul Servant picked up the win last week at iRacing Super Speedway. The week before that, Dana Osborne picked up the win at Daytona. So Candy Shack Motorsports got 3 drivers picking up a win. Daniel Holloway picked up that win in race number 2. But Sean Stevens winning the opening race, and then Anthony English and Hunter Reynolds going back to back for Alliance Motorsports.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams getting a lot of victories in a row, and it's just a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in this league, KR, and the fact that you have to get 2 wins to get in just makes it even harder.
So Josh Milam, Mark Mann, Anthony English, your top 3 right now. That 44 looking very solid in 3rd spot. He's one of those kind of drivers where you might not talk about him a whole lot, but all of a sudden there he is in victory lane as the 04 jumps up out of line. The 44 going to get right to the back bumper of the 7, and we saw this out of the 26. And Travis, I think you might be on to something. These teammates pushing hard as they can, and then when one car gets hot, they jump up out of line, and everyone just sucks up to the back of the 7.
Yeah, it's a little bit more efficient than trying to cool a car down, but Dana and them finally kind of got together, and they just have the numbers, and they're in a range of the 27's toe here, so wouldn't be surprised if we're double file here in the next 3 to 5 laps maybe. But yeah, they're up front. They're definitely trying to rotate out that pusher, keep as much fresh air on the pusher as possible to really maximize how hard you can push and not have to worry about pulling the car off. So not really gonna mean anything here very soon though, as it looks like. Oh yeah, that second pack hitting 207. Dana Osborne and company. So they're pushing pretty hard to catch up, and you can see that that gap to Josh is just dwindling away as they're 2/10 behind Sean Stevens here. And I think JD Crow hitting pit road once again. Still holding 2 laps down, so he's not doing too bad in managing how many laps down yet. So anything's still possible, KR. Never say never.
Our first car 1 lap down is the 343 of Russell Hancock, as Graves is shuffled to the outside, and the 343 finds himself in 15th spot. 14 cars still on the lead lap. Rick Greenaway, last car on the lead lap, running all by himself. He is about ready to be swallowed up by this pack as we go on aboard. Look out the back of the 15 of Old Greeny. You see the field work through the tri-oval and heading to the start-finish line.
And you can see they've caught up finally, and the first 2 people to go up to that top line, 343 and the 40. I mean, they're a couple laps down, but they want to, all they have to do is get back in front of the Josh here. If they can get both of them in front of Josh and there's a caution, they're both back on the lead lap right then. So, as I believe They're, like you said, they're coming up quickly on Rick Greenaway here. But some of these drivers, KR, I'm looking at the stints. You got the 91, the 14 are coming to 15 laps on this tank of fuel. So probably gonna see a couple people hit pit road here again. I know the 14 or the 4 and the 91 aren't really up here, but still, we're gonna see some interesting antics go on here as Rick Greenaway gets passed by the pack and goes to the wall. Very, very respectful move by him there, KR. At least in my book, it is.
So you mentioned Sean Wilder. He's running with J.R. Johnson, Dan Holloway, Chris Akers, and Les Levy. Wilder, one of those guys who came down a little bit earlier than everyone else. So he is pretty close to running that tank out, and he'll be one of the first ones on pit road.
Yeah, no doubt. Even everybody else, we're within 3 to 4 laps, some of them maybe 5. The guys who pitted later, like Hunter and Josh and them, and pretty much all of Alliance, essentially, like Mark Mann and Sean, those guys. I'm wondering if you're gonna see, Dana, the Candy Shack guys, kind of play off of what the Alliance guys do and try to save a little bit of fuel here around as long as they can. It always comes down to fuel mileages at super speedway races in these broadcast KR, which I wish we would just be 3 wide the entire time.
Talking about an intense nail-biting race, being 3 wide the entire time. Bad enough being 2 wide.
I mean, I can barely handle watching the iRacing super speedway races.
I can barely handle the car.
Same KR. Things are wild around there. Is the Russ Hancock gonna get a big old helping hand by the 40, and he is back on the lead lap. KR got it the hard way. Fortunately, the 40 is a sacrificial lamb there, getting him out in front. Hopefully, he can get a little bit of a wiggle there. And the 7 got to his bumper, gave him a little push. The 343 owes the 40 a whole lot there.
And Hancock now is the last car on the lead lap, and he is in desperate need of help from a caution to get caught back up to the field. Graves in the 40 would love to see a yellow flag come out as well. That would put him back on the lead lap. But we're down to 26 laps to go. Les Levy on pit road, Sean Wilder, Chris Akers, Dan Harrington all hitting pit lane this time. So our next round of green flag pit stops are firing up. And a big wiggle out of Hancock coming off of pit lane, off of turn 4, almost hitting pit lane.
Yeah, Josh is all over his bumper. You can see the pushing abilities of that 7 car. Very confident in himself and in his car. As you can see, he's pushing the 343 in the turns. Bold move, pushing somebody who's just pretty much got back on the lead lap, and Josh is going to give everything to him. Keep this line rolling as much as he can until he gets hot. Field's pretty much single file, and there's really not a whole lot going on. Waiting for somebody to make that move. This isn't going to be the last pit stop, is it, KR?
No, it cannot be the last pit stop, as they're going to have to go a few more laps. Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, Daniel Holloway all hitting pit lane this time. Those 3 drivers make it on the pit road cleanly, and it looks like safely. They're going to be hitting their pit lane, but once again, Alliance Motorsports trying to stretch this fuel out.
Yeah, and if anything, this tells us anything, they're going to go 2 more laps. There was probably going to be a little splash of... Actually, I think if they get
they're getting about 18 laps of fuel And
They're
we're
about-
coming up to 23 to go.
Yeah, they're about 3 or 4 laps over what they need to do. So interesting move. Like, I mean, I guess they're just gonna fill it up here and then come down and take a splash. They're not spending a whole lot of time on pit road. No takers that time by. And it looks like the old Candy Shack boys are all lined up this time. You got the 88 and the 21 making a Paul Servant sandwich. Ironically, he's driving that Oreo car, so little pun there. But they're all lined up together coming out of turn 4. And the pack is going into turn 4. Got a lot of work ahead of them as they're going to hit pit road. Josh Milam's going to send it into pit road. Gets it slowed up just in time. A little netcode bump there from his teammate. Got a little assistance there, so looks like they got on pit road pretty cleanly. No issues so far. Everybody hits their box. I'm gonna go back to watching that Candy Shack sandwich. They're going into turn number 3, and they're also swapping the pusher KR. So Paul Servant just jumped up to the top and let the 21 take over going into the turn. So they're trying to do everything they can to make up for that last mishap on that last pit stop for them. So, and it looks like it's going to work out for them as they're coming to the trioval right now. And they have a head of steam.
That they do, and they're going to swallow up some of these scragglers who just made their way off of pit road trying to get up to speed. The 88 of Osborne got his car all the way wound up as our Alliance Motorsports teammates all come off of pit road and rejoin the track down the back stretch. Dana Osborne making his way by most of these guys very quickly. Josh Milam tucked in tight as the race leader behind the 343 of Hancock. That may not last long because here comes the 88.
Yeah, they were going a cool 206 miles an hour going down the back straight. So the 21 giving Dana all he can right now to really get in front of this 343 and pass Josh here. And they're gonna go that high side, right in that second lane, and they just have such a speed advantage. And you really wouldn't think it's that big of a speed advantage. Like, was it like 3 or 4 miles an hour? And you can see that run kind of stalled out there. The 21's going to go to the top. I don't know if that's calculated or he's just letting the 3, and it looks like he's just letting 3 get behind Dana there. So you can see they're keeping their engines cool, KR. So I wonder if the engines are getting a little hot, a little quick. That was maybe about a lap and a half of pushing, which seems kind of low, if I remember correctly. So I don't know what the track temp is. I'm going to check that real quick.
Maybe just trying to conserve fuel as well. Maybe not letting...
Oh. Track temp is 111, so that would explain why they're swapping out so quickly. That would do it, but that too. But I would say it's the track temp. But we're within that the final fuel window here in about 2 laps.
Yeah,
I would say
2
we're
laps
gonna
away
see
from coming down pit road for the final time. We've been green flag racing this entire time. Have not had a single caution flag here tonight. JD Crow getting in trouble, going for that spin towards the beginning of our race from the front row. And then a few other drivers have had some issues. Jimmy Reynolds got caught up in one. A few checkups, a few issues on pit road, and all that adds up to lost time. Our lead pack, however, these are the drivers who've been able to get on and off pit road and haven't had to worry too much about a checkup.
Yeah, they got together pretty well. We're gonna have to see who does it better at the end for the money stop here, but I think Dana and them just want to get to the bottom as fast as they can, and the 88's gonna drop. I don't know if he might try to check up the field to get the 21 and 3 in front of him. He has a pretty long line of cars behind him, and I don't think that they're gonna let them check up as much as they would like. Especially being on the outside car, they're burning a little bit more fuel than they want to, but it looks like they're gonna get them checked up to get the 21 clear. and Paul Servan's going to be all alone by himself. And it looks like he's going to be dropping like a rock right here unless he can get some help. He might fall in line right behind Hunter if DJ doesn't fill that gap as soon as he can. So I'm assuming. Oh,
Caution flag coming out.
I believe it's Pondo Co.
Hondo Co in the 9 in trouble along with Rick Greenaway. Let's see if we can back this up and figure out what happened to bring out this yellow flag.
Just looks like just hooked him, yeah.
Greenaway getting in contact with him. Michael Hinton in the 63. Heads up driving. Take a look at this one off the nose of the 63. See the two cars just ahead of him. Michael gets off the throttle, but the path of the 9 was really the way he was spinning. The 63 just did not know where to go, and closing rate very quickly there.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 didn't get in the. It looks like the 9 locked him up, and then he tried to get it rolling when looks like as soon as he got it around, I think he tried to get it rolling again, so he'd maybe whip it around, try to roll to the back to the bottom, and turn the wheel and look it around. But man, what a, like he said, what a heads up move by the 63. Man,
that big hold your breath moment there, but this is gonna take everyone's plans and shuffle everyone into the same strategy, as we'll see the field come down pit road as we are within that final pit stop window. Everyone gonna make the break for pit lane. Daniel Holloway leading our drivers down this pit stop section segment, whatever. I don't know what I was gonna say there.
Yeah, this is gonna be the final stop, really. So it looks like everybody's just taking a splash for fuel and getting out as soon as they can. KR. The winner off pit road is gonna be that 21 of Daniel Holloway.
All right, so here we go. We got to start doing a little bit more talking to this guy, the 44, Anthony English. You got your ears on, buddy?
Yes, sir, KR.
How you doing out there tonight?
Oh, pretty good. It's actually been pretty exciting.
Has it? What's been going on out there?
Well, just doing a lot of running. I mean, we were racing pretty hard earlier. I think we were kind of just riding out that last fuel before this last stop here, and I don't know what brought out the caution, so kind of throws a wrench in the plans, but you know, we'll adjust and move on.
Well, I'll tell you, a couple cars go spinning on the backstretch will bring out the caution for you here tonight, but the 44 has been running up front. So what do you got to say about the speed of this car here tonight?
Oh, it's been pretty fast. I'm not complaining.
All right, man. Well, you are our special in-race reporter, so any other reports you'd like to add?
Oh, just hold on to your seats here, because I think it's going to get really exciting.
All right, well, that's Anthony English. And Anthony, while we have you up here, any shout-outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Start off with you guys up in the booth, KR, Travis. You guys do an awesome job. NSRA for putting on what they do. All my teammates at Alliance Motorsports. And my lovely girlfriend, Rachel, who puts up with my bullcrap every week to race us. So, thank you all.
There you go. Anthony English, driver of the 44 machine, finding himself in 5th place right now, our special in-race reporter. And Travis, he said it, his car's fast. He's been up at the front.
Yeah, he's definitely had speed. He's always I've raced with Anthony quite a bit previously in previous leagues. He's definitely he's not afraid to put the car where he thinks it needs to go, and he definitely has the ability to get it done and bring it home, along with a lot of people out here. So he's got a lot of stiff competition, but I think he could definitely do something. We saw him win that iRacing Super Speedway race Now, this is a lot more tame than an iRacing Super Speedway. There's a lot of people getting the wave around right here. Like Les Levy back on the lead lap. Interesting.
Yeah, Les is gonna run his fuel tank dry here, though. He's not gonna be able to make it to the end. Neither is Michael Hinton or Jason Graves. But you know what? They are rolling the dice, and that's what you got to do in these situations.
Yeah. I mean, you almost had it, with the way Anthony made it sound. And then I think it's gonna get, like he said, it's gonna get a lot more crazy than it's been. It's been very tame. Very tame. This has been a very tame Talladega race in my book, KR. We haven't really seen anybody really get around that top and start pinching that middle line. We haven't really seen, anybody trying to shoot the middle. It's a very, very popular. Love shooting the middle, especially around here. People don't expect it. You can fit a couple cars in each one of these lanes, KR, and if somebody runs that top line a little too high, you can squeeze right through if you trust your abilities and take it 4 wide. And a lot of space on this track to do a lot of crazy things. But right now, the 21 of Daniel Holloway and the 7 Josh Milam leading the field back to green. What I'm assuming won't be the last time for tonight. The KR. And I think we're about to turn the dial up to 11 here.
It is time to turn the dial up to 11. You have made what should be the final pit stop of the night. We might end up into an overtime situation, and that could change everyone's fuel strategies just a little bit. But the pace car down and away. Daniel Holloway, Josh Milam on the front row for this restart. Our first caution of the night coming to a close. And here we go. We're going to let these drivers loose for one more time. Green flag coming out. Everyone getting up to speed. Nobody spinning a tire just yet. Got one more shift before you get free and clear. And Holloway in the 21 has the momentum for the moment going through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, he has Hunter already on his bumper. I just combined Hunter and bumper in the same word because I can't even talk right now. But Hunter was on his bumper in the middle of 1 and 2, and he's back on his bumper once again. Josh Milam on the outside with DJ Mitzel, Mark Mann close behind. A lot of shoving going on. Big gap between the 44 and the 3. I don't know what it is with Paul Servant following very loosely. I don't know if there's a new law up in Canada about following too close, but JD Crow's going to hit pit road right here. What would be for the final time, I would assume. He's going to fill that thing up. Back 1 lap down, probably going to go back to 2 laps down. Big wiggle on the outside as that outside line kind of fell apart. Whatever momentum it had, and 26 is going to hop up in front of his teammate, the 7 of Josh Milam, and move right on past the 21 of Daniel Holloway right here, KR.
Reynolds, with the assistance of Josh Milam, to the race lead, drops down to the inside line. And he is going to take over that top spot. We do have to keep our eye out on the 62 of Les Levy, the 63 of Michael Hinton, and the 40 of Jason Graves when they are going to come down pit road, because those tanks are a lot lighter than everyone else's. In fact, the 62
like just hit pit road.
just hit pit lane. Fastest lap of the race going to the 63 of Michael Hinton, turning a 47.47. And you know what? More than half this field just set its fastest lap of the race.
Yeah. Oh, you can see the 63 back there, almost putting in between the 4 and the 91, getting close. But yeah, you can tell there's a lot more aggressive pushing going on. Hunter jumping up to the top, and you can just tell with how hard they're pushing, because like Josh is under Hunter's bumper, and even in the back, so a little wobble from the 21 there. That's going to get the 7 and Hunter Reynolds clear. And that might even get the 61 clear of the 21, and the 61's going to stay up top. He was clear, but he's gonna stay up top with the marked man. Almost a big wreck. Just completely avoided by the 3 and the 9 almost getting together. The 9 was sitting on Paul Servant's quarter panel, about turned him, little bobble there, but they kept that all together. Coming out of turn 4, Hunter Reynolds leading the race, but coming up on 2 lap cars. That's the 62 of Wes Levy and the 17 of JD Crow. So hopefully they go up to the wall and tuck back in and maybe, you know, kind of avoid any kind of X's. Les Levy gonna go to the middle of the track. Oh, he's gonna get up in front of the 17. Okay. I thought Les was about to make the field split him. I was gonna get a little worried there, KR.
Well, here we go. 3 wide down the back stretch. The 26 and the 7 navigate past the lap cars quite easily. Everyone else making room for them. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place as they're trapped by the wall and the rest of the field down below them. But Les Levy and JD Crow, very seasoned super speedway racers, handled that thing quite well.
Yeah, a lot of room up here around the high banks of Talladega. Is DJ Mitzel getting up into Josh Milam's bumper, and then here comes the 27 into 37, making that outside line try to work with 2 cars. We'll see if they get that line down. It looks like the 37 is going to leave Sean Stevens out to dry, dropping back into line. No takers on that high side yet, and KR, I don't think that anybody's tried it yet to really know if it's going to work or not. Josh Milam's going to get a nice push from the 61 here, and it's going to clear him in front of the 26. 91's up top. Looks like the Knight of Pondo Co wanted to go fill that middle line. It's getting pretty tight on the 4's bumper. He's going to jump up in front of the 4. Once again, a very close clear by him, trusting that spotter of his. And KR, I think the 9 wants to get to that top line as soon as he can. I don't know about you.
You know what? The way everyone is running, I have no idea who has what planned. And a lot of these drivers just taking it, you know, corner by corner right now.
That is for sure. That outside line is densely packed. Cars running close together. You can see the spacing on the inside line. There's pretty sizable gaps, but there's a consistent pattern on that outside line, KR. And at some point, I think somebody's going to break that pattern and make a move around that outside. It's just a matter of time to me. I don't see why you wouldn't, but Josh Milam still leading here. A lap 69. And here comes the 17 and the 91 making a run on the outside. Maybe they're going to make a run here. They're running the right line, pinching that middle line. They could pinch him a little bit more. I wonder if they're going to get any takers to jump up there in front of that 17 and try to ride this wave up to the front. No takers quite yet, KR.
Well, and as you say that, the 4 machine jumps up in front. Chris Akers going to try and help pull the 17 along with him. And Akers would love to pick up a win.
On the outside. Oh, big checkup on the outside. Oh, there it is.
Trouble off of turn number 4. The 343 going around, and the yellow flag coming out for this one. Let's take a look and see where this happened.
I don't think anybody really got damaged from that, KR. I think miraculously the 343 spun. They spun across the 37. The 37 and the 27 got together. But there was no real significant contact there, so all parties involved, very lucky. Let's maybe. Oh, I think you might have to get an in-car shot on Les Levy there. That car spinning right across his nose. Ooh. Ooh.
Very close.
Oh man. Well, I mean, we got a caution, and I'm honestly glad to see that, you know, it wasn't that bad. It was couple guys who got turned around. I don't know who would be the lucky dog here.
No one making the break for pit lane just yet. Might have a few takers. The 63, Michael Hinton. He's very thankful this caution came out. He was going to be short on fuel.
Yeah, I think the lucky dog might be Jimmy Reynolds. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. There's that old Mandalorian car kind of creeping up, and it looks like the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds is going to be your lucky dog, taking that free pass around the pace car.
So Jimmy getting back on the lead lap. That'll give us 16 cars on the lead lap here tonight. Started 21. All 21 cars still in this race.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy had that little incident earlier that made him lose the draft, and just kept compounding and losing more and more track position. And good on him for staying in here almost at the very end. To get that lap back and get that chance. Anything can really happen, even from P16. Stranger things have happened, especially around Talladega. It just takes one mess up front.
I've long said that these super speedways, if you want a shot at winning it, just make sure you're on the lead lap at the end of this race.
Mm-hmm. And as somebody who came from the spot that Jimmy Reynolds is sitting in and winning a race, anything's possible. You just got to keep your foot down. But oh man, and I don't know. I'm not ready for this KR. I'm not ready.
Well, don't feel bad. I don't think any of these drivers are ready either. They're not quite sure what's going to happen to them next, but I do know one thing. We're going to be in for a heck of a finish. Hunter Reynolds, Daniel Holloway, Josh Milam, Anthony English, and DJ Mitchell, your top 5 right now. As the field makes its way around, one more time, lights are going to go out on the pace car. And then I believe we will get the green flag with 3 laps to go.
Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned the top 5, but just look back through the 6th through 10th. You got the 82 of Daniel Harrington, who had the incident on pit road earlier. I think he was a lap down at one point, and he's back here up front. In a chance to get a top 5 and even to win. Though for Mark Mann, always there around at the end. You get the 3 Candy Shack boys being led by the 88 of Dana Osborne, the 4 Chris Akers, and the 10 of Paul Servant. All of them capable of getting it done. And like KR, this top 10 is stacked of guys hungry to win. And all 10 of these guys are aggressive, capable drivers.
Yep. Here we go. Hunter Reynolds would love to get his 2nd win of the season, locking himself into the championship playoff rounds. He's not the only one that's looking for his 2nd win. Hunter Reynolds and Anthony English right there as well. Josh Milam. Milam hasn't started every race this season, but he is quickly climbing the points as he continues to put great finishes together.
Yeah, that goes to having a great group of guys that you can run with. He's like we said, he's a part of that Alliance stable, and you have guys like Hunter, like Anthony, like Mark Mann, who really come here each week in and week out and put in quality finishes here. And they're great teammates to have, and it makes it really easy to make things happen when you have those guys around you. As the pace car KR is about to make its way off of turn 4, or maybe the final time of the race, KR.
Pace car peeling off, getting out of the way. Hunter Reynolds and Daniel Holloway each looking to lock themselves into playoff contention with a second win. Both of them picking up wins earlier this season. Anthony English right there as well, looking for one. DJ Mitchell would love to get his first win of the season. So too would Mark Mann and Dan Harrington. But here we go. Drivers on the throttle, green flag out, and we get ready to finish this one up with 3 laps to go.
And already the 40 going up to the top. Jason Graham's going up to that top side. I don't know if he's going to get any takers. I'm just going to fall back in line, but oh man, KR, I'm not ready.
Well, you better be, because the green flag is waving and the 26 has the lead down the back stretch. But the 21 of Daniel Holloway now going to have to start worrying about that outside lane, because here comes the 88 of Dana Osborne in the 4, Chris Akers.
Yeah, they're pinching hard on that middle lane. They're going to, KR, they're going to move forward very quickly. And if somebody doesn't jump up in front of them, they are going to walk right up to the front of this field right beside Dan Holloway. And it looks like they lost a little bit of that momentum there up top. But they're starting to build that top line as we're coming to 2 to go. Dana being very confident, and you know that's how you have to run this line at Talladega. You have to sit on the inside lines, you know, quarter panel door as close as you can. But they just don't have the numbers for that top line. They're going to need somebody to jump up in front of them, and it's really hampering that middle line kind of, because they're taking a little bit of air off of Anthony's car as they're going to drift higher.
Contact Dan Harrington
there
involved.
it is.
Big wreck as Anthony English in the 44, I believe, went airborne.
I believe Dana Osborne went completely vertical and did a little bouncing act on the 82's hood. I'm sorry.
Chris Akers was the one going airborne, and that was a hard end over end for the 4 machine. Take a look at this one.
Yeah, just a little, you know, that was Dana. I don't want to say that was on Dana, but that was definitely contact between Dana and the 82 that pushed the 82 down into the into DJ and KR. That's just, you know, that's trying to make that outside line work. You have to pinch that middle line as hard as you can to really make anything happen. And you know, since they didn't have any sort of help, it was just Dana and the 4 of Chris Akers. They really couldn't make anything happen. They needed to do everything they could.
So the lights are on the pace car. We're going to go into overtime. We had not taken the white flag yet. We go to our first, well, it's technically our second attempt at a green-white checkered, but our first one with extra laps involved.
Yeah, I think we have 2 green-white checkered. So a lot of these guys have they might have to pit if there's a second green-white checker. That's a gamble you have to play.
A lot of fast repairs getting ready to be used up here.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. A lot of guys hitting pit road. Obviously, the guys that got involved in that. I believe JD Crow getting the lucky dog here.
So Crow getting one of his laps back. He is past the pace car and gonna make his way around. Hunter Reynolds, your race leader. Daniel Holloway in second. Third right now, Josh Milam. Then it's Mark Mann and Paul Servant rounding out your top 5.
Oh man, KR. These guys are. This isn't good for my heart. Not good at all.
Chris Akers in the 4, who went tumbling. It looked like he was not able to continue on to pit road and use the flatbed to get back. So he is gone multiple laps down.
Oh, looks like Dana Osborne
be done.
Right at the entry of pit road.
The 88 not going to be able to make it to his stall. Tough break there for the 88.
He's gonna try it anyway, even though he's going 0 miles an hour. But he's still rolling. Oh nope, there it goes. Yeah, the 88 had to tow. That's 2 of the Candy Shack boys. You know, parked up for a few minutes. So probably I don't know if they're gonna pack it up for the night or what. I would assume so with a tow. I don't know how many laps they would be able to gain there.
Yeah, Chris Akers for sure, and Dana Osborne maybe going to lose a lap, but it may not be the end of the world because right now the laps have quit counting. Well, that's not true. We're still counting the laps.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though it just keeps adding on laps until you go green. So, is this our first attempt or our second attempt? I'm already lost.
This is our first attempt.
Okay.
In overtime.
Okay. I'm so messed up. Paul Servant with heavy damage on that bumper. I don't know if he doesn't have a fast repair left, but definitely didn't want to give up that track position just in case there is another caution. Looks like most of the people that were in that got their cars all fixed up or got a new car. One of them being the 44 of Anthony English. Looks like he's back out with a fresh car, so ready to make another attempt, maybe one more if need be. I think we might need both of those attempts, KR.
All right, lights
Just
are
a
out.
gut feeling.
Lights are out on the Ford Mustang. Travis Elliott taking all of his anxiety medication in one go.
If I had some, I'd be taking a handful right now. A little bit of baby aspirin, you know, for the heart. Oh man.
Not only that, drivers were last on pit road on lap 59. We have had a few cautions, but they are now working on lap 77.
Now they're gonna be close on fuel.
So they could end up being a very close on fuel, especially if we get another overtime attempt.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the stint count, Hunter Reynolds to Pondo Co. 17 laps on the tank. Like you said, there was a few cautions there, but still, that's 17 laps. And after that, Mikhail Hinton, the person with the most fuel nearest, but we won't know until they can get around one more time. Take that white flag car, that Ford Mustang, pulling off track for maybe the final time, maybe not, as Hunter Reynolds and Daniel Holloway lead the field back to the green flag for this first attempt at the green-white checkered. And KR, I'm nervous. I can only imagine how the drivers in the car are feeling. Let's do this.
Here we go through the trioval. Green, a flag coming out. Hunter Reynolds, Daniel Holloway both get the same start, but Holloway gonna surge ahead. Mark Mann in the 04, not quite as good as the 7 of Josh Milam. So that advantage from the 21 disappears quickly because Josh Milam pushing hard on the back bumper of the 26 of Reynolds.
Yeah, big checkup on the outside. The 40 of Jason Graham's gonna jump up. Josh Milam's clear to the top. And he jumps up top, taking away the 3 of Paul Servant from jumping in front of his teammate. So now you have opposite teams pushing somebody else's teammate. So looking at that outside line forming back there, the 91's getting up to the 40's bumper. They're going to make something happen possibly if they can get the numbers up there. The 91 jumps back in line. Coming to the white flag, KR, if they get across the line, this race is official. And it looks like this race is official here. So bringing it back, checkers or wreckers going into turn 1.
Here we go, the 7 slicing down. Josh Milam looking for his first win here in the NSRA Sunday Select Series presented by 3 Wide Motorsports. And
Ooh,
Hunter
contact.
Reynolds. Oh, Holloway
contact.
sideways. Mark Mann going to get involved. Big crash down the backstretch. And we're going to have 4 cars break away to try and settle this one. But right now, the top 3 got a big gap. And it is Josh Milam, Paul Servant, and Hunter Reynolds. And here they come off of turn number 4. Milam,
C3 wide.
what's he going to do?
Paul Servant's tucked in line. Hunter's going to go to the high side. Paul is all over Josh's bumper. He's going to try to move him out of the way. Doesn't do it. The 7 of Josh Milam is going to come across the line as Hunter Reynolds and Paul Servant come into contact with one another. But Josh Milam bringing it home for his first win in the NSRA Sunday Select Series and bringing another one home for Alliance Motorsports tonight, KR.
All right, let's go back real quick and look at that big stack up down the back stretch. Kick this one off from the 15 of Rick Greenaway. You can see cars just going everywhere. Hardly anyone able to make through because that track got blocked off very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know if when Hunter moved up to the top, I don't know if Paul kind of followed him a little bit just instinctively and went up into the 21 there, and Dan almost had it saved. He had a little bit of more room, probably would have got it around, but that just collected the rest of the field and caused that big pile up on the back straight there, allowing them to break away. Man. What a race, KR. What a race. Josh Milam's doing his burnouts.
We're going to take one more look at this one, and I believe we'll start from Jason Grames on this. Jason in the 40 pulls down, and it's the parting of the Red Sea for him, and he is able to squeeze through. But Josh Milam in the 7, our race winner, Hunter Reynolds, celebrating in victory lane with him. So let's get right to it, Travis. And holy cow, Josh, you bring it home for your first win here in the NSRA Sunday Select Series.
What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Nice job out there tonight, picking up that first win this season.
Oh, absolutely. Heck of a race, man. All around, from the start, it was a great race. Great effort by all these guys. Managed to walk away with it. Feels good coming in here and this league. I think this is my 3rd or 4th race here. I missed most of these races, but coming here and was able to get a win.
Well, the 7 picks up that first win. 2 to lock yourself in the championship that we know of. Is there a minimum race count that you have to hit?
Man, I don't know a whole lot. I was invited to come out here to race with these guys, and I just show up. Managed to win. I have to ask them what the requirements are for that, but I plan on showing up each Sunday night.
All right, Josh, will you pick up that win? Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Absolutely. I want to thank Paul Servant there for that push on the end, waiting for him to make a move to try to grab that win himself. I appreciate it there, Paul. Thank Hunter, all these guys I was racing with tonight. Want to thank had a guy join me for a spotter tonight, Tyler Miller. I want to give him a shout out. And thank you guys, and thank NSRA admins and everybody puts these races together. Appreciate them having me and all the people viewing tonight.
All right, that is Josh Milam, your race winner. Once again, congratulations, Josh, on an outstanding finish. But now, Travis, you've caught up with our 2nd place finisher, and that is none other than Paul Servant.
Yes, sir.
Paul, how you doing, man?
I'm back again.
Yeah, you're back in here for. I mean, what race are we on? 8, 7, 8, something like that. But I feel like I talk to you almost every week. But you know, that's a good thing for you in the point standings. And tonight, you know, getting another 2nd place and really, you know, solid points night. You looking forward to, you know, next week maybe bringing home this this number 3 Oreos Camaro and getting into victory lane?
Well, I just, you know, just having a good race and finishing well. It's all about points this season, so you want to be a consistent. We're not really out to lead the most laps or anything. We're just, we want to be there at the end. And unfortunately, I got into Dan there. Hunter went high, and it just sucked my car up with him when he switched lanes, and I got into Dan and took him out of a good finish there. So I mean, nothing intentional there. So just another good points night, and we will keep at it every week.
Well, definitely a good points night for you. I feel like it's always a good points night for you on Sunday nights. But next week, man, we'll see you around Daytona.
Sure.
New draft package, and
yeah, I can't wait.
We'll see how that is, and we'll see how you guys do next week. But you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, anybody out there in the land of the broadcast?
Oh, a shout out to Josh for winning, and Hunter there for a hard fight there at the end. And there was nothing I could do. I just stayed behind Josh. I knew if I made a move, Hunter would have cut under and pushed Josh. So I tried to get the second, and that plan worked out. Good fight with them guys, and you guys always turn 3 coming on here and doing the broadcast, the league, NSRA, my team. Sorry, Dan. We'll get at it next week.
It's okay, Paul. I turned Dan on Wednesday night, so it's just kind of a thing.
Oh, that's all right. We'll take turns here every week. That works.
All right, man. Great job tonight. I'll see you next week, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks, man. It's good to be up here in the booth, and good to see my buddy Josh get a win tonight. Yeah, that was crazy. To be honest with you, I don't remember the first half of that lap because I was so dialed in. Couldn't even tell you what happened at the moment, but yeah, I saw them guys got taken out, unfortunately, and it was just myself, Josh, and Paul. And I told Josh, I was like, I'll push you. There's nothing I can do. And Paul didn't really make a move there. I was like, oh, maybe I can squeak in a second here. And then got a little too close to him and hit him coming across the line. But me and him are good. It was a good run tonight. Josh and I and all the guys at Alliance. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun race. A lot of green flag laps. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. A win definitely helps, and a third place is always good here for points. I had to miss a race, so I took a provisional, but I'm still looking pretty good on points, if I remember correctly, and just got to put together another solid run here for these next 3 weeks, and we'll be moving on to the chase, and that'll be interesting. I always enjoyed chase racing, so yeah, just gotta lock it in here for the next couple weeks and get some more good finishes. Yes, sir. All my teammates feel sim racing, and everyone in the room with tonight, Alliance Motorsports, and everyone who's helping out my dad, and Turn 3 Racing Network, KR, Travis up in the booth. You guys do an awesome job. I'd like to thank all the family and friends watching. I'd like to thank everybody else watching too, and of course all the league admins to help with this thing on.
Yeah, that's about it. Coming home in 6th place, 82 of Daniel Harrington. Good recovery for him this race. 7th place, 61 of DJ Mitzel. 8th place, the 9 of Pondo Co. Coming home in 9th, the 40 of Jason Grams, and rounding out your top 10, the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
In 11th place is Jimmy Reynolds. 12th goes to Michael Hinton. Mark Mann in 13th. 14th, Sean Stevens. Les Levy 15th in that 62 machine. First car, 1 lap down.
Coming home in 16th place, the 17 of JD Crow. Coming home in 17th. I don't know if I just said 17th twice, KR. I'm sorry. But 17th place, 91 of Sean Wilder. In 18th place, 15 of Rick Greenaway. Coming home in 19th, the 37 of JR Johnson. And I don't care. I don't know if you want me to round out the final ones, but I will go ahead and do that. Coming home in 20th, the 88 of Dana Osborne. And coming home in 21st place, the 4 of Chris Akers.
All right, guys, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us here on another spectacular Sunday evening at Talladega. This show is done and over with, and not without its mistakes. Travis joining as a driver and me doing post-race interviews with a muted mic. How about that? So here we go, folks. Until next Sunday night, when we can screw up in more creative ways than we did tonight, we hope you all stay safe. And on behalf of everyone here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, Travis Elliott and myself, we look forward to seeing you next week as we head to Daytona. So until then, guys, have a good night.